So in the last video we configured the IntelliJ IDEA IDE. Now let's create our first project, our bare first project. And we already know that the usual projects that anyone creates during the first inception towards any programming language is obviously the hello world. So let's get started creating a hello world project. So let me go and click on create a new project, and based on your IntelliJ IDEA IDE, you're gonna have as many options as these, or as little as 1 2 3, based on whether you're running an ultimate or the other version of IntelliJ IDEA, which is free. However, I'm running the ultimate, so I'm having all these options handy with my left hand side pane. So let's get started by choosing Java. Click on next, and then I'm not going to choose anything because I want to show everything from scratch. So let me just click on next, and then it's asking me where the projects need to be created. For that, let me just create a new folder in my desktop, and you may wish to create wherever you want to. I'll just say Java projects, and let me just copy this and paste it up in here. And then make sure that you know your name in the project should not have any space. And I wish to just rename this as well. So sometimes if you give any spaces in between, it might cause some issues. So I prefer not to have any space, so I'm just replacing that name, and let there be no spaces, because there could be potential errors because of the project locations. However, right at this point, it's going to be Java projects, and let me just rename it to Hello World. Alright, now the project name is Hello World, located inside the Java projects directory. And let me just and you have more settings if you wish to see, but I don't want to do anything with this. Let me click on finish, and now the tip of the day is shown, where it gives a lot of tips, and it's worthwhile if you have the time to read. At this point, I don't want to read everything, so I'll just click on close, and you know let's wait for this indexing to get completed. So just a moment from now. Got it. And you see that this is shown Java projects, hello world, and then there is src folder, idea folder, hello world.iml. So yeah, let's create our first project by right clicking, and you have fair amount of options here which might overwhelm you at this point. However, let's get going by creating a new Java class. You don't have to worry way too much about what is known as learning a class, because we'll be exploring it in the further upcoming videos. So let me give it some name, and preferably I give it an uppercase here, because I want to keep uppercase for naming the class. I'll just say hello sample and click on OK. Now, so the moment I said OK, there's this new file called hello sample.java, which is located inside the src file. And then here we have some documentation. It says created by Rakshit, and if you don't wish to see this, you may choose to delete them off. And then here it is, public class hello sample. Alright, now to get it started, to print hello world, we need to do this. Whether you want to do hello world or whether you want to do anything in Java, you need to have to type this: public static static void main, and then you need to open and close and say string, string, open and close, args, args. And then notice that this is a square bracket, and you might be wondering, what is this public, what is static, what is void, what is main. However, we are not worried about that at this point. And then I'll open a curly brace, and then as you also type this, the IntelliJ would have suggested to close it as well by automatically adding a closing brace. And you need to be pretty careful while you're typing this, because you might run into typing something like this, which is the same meaning, public, public, but p was a uppercase. P is an uppercase here, and previously P was a lowercase. So make sure you are taking care about the case sensitivities. And then here, let us do something. Let us say, S again with a capital, system. As we are trying to type system, you must have noticed by this point that the IDE, IntelliJ IDEA, is suggesting us with whatever we wish to type. So I wish to type system, so let me double click on system dot out dot println, println, print. And you see this, there's, when I say println, it's coming up with option, right? And then here I may type whatever I want to display. So I'll type hello world. Now if I do this, it is providing me an option to type whatever I want to type, and that's it. This is as simple as it could get. You just went on creating hello sample .java file, and then we have public system void main, public static void main, and then string with a pair of square brackets, and then we have args, args, and then here we have again a flower bracket, and then system.out.println, and then we have hello world. If I just save this by clicking on Ctrl S, and if I just click on right click and say run hello sample main, so it's going to tell something, it's going to do some process, and then here it is, hello world. So it's compiling from, it shows the the development environment, which is JDK 1.8.0, and then here is our output, expected output, which is hello world. Now I want to give you a quick option, like a kind of like a challenge. how how would you go about displaying the city in which you live in? Maybe if you live in Los Angeles, Los Angeles. If you wish to type whatever, how do you change that hello world to the text that you want to display? Maybe you want to display your name. How do you do that? Go and try it quickly. Okay, so did you try it? Maybe, I think you would have gotten this. All you need to do is just replace the text. Maybe you want to type it in. Maybe I want to type my name, Rakshat Vasudev. So that's it. If you just change it over there, it's going to be changed completely when it displays. And let's just try running it once again. You see this? This is the text it's printing out now. So let me give you what this is. System.out.println is a command from now that you should remember, that is used for printing out the value, while public static void main is called as a method. Don't get worried or confused when I say all these new buzzwords. It's just called as a method. String args are called as parameters to the method, and hello sample is a class. It's sufficient if you just know about all these at this point, and as we proceed further, we'll get to have a better idea of what each one of them do.